Everybody, welcome to the third tutorial for the Agile testing. My name is Nimesh Soni and I welcome you all in this third segment, the last bit or the area for Agile testing, which is an Agile testing methods, techniques and tools. Now, this is the longest bit to cover because it comes with so much in-depth details. So let's talk about point 3, agile testing methods, techniques and tools. Now this whole big area can be covered by 4 different components of it, which is, as you can see on the screen, agile testing methods, assessing quality risk and estimating test efforts, technique in agile project and tools in agile project. Now let's talk about number 1 or first, which is agile testing methods. Now, what can be covered in agile testing method? There are certain testing practices that can be followed in every development project to produce quality products. Now, these includes writing tests in advance to express proper behavior, focusing on early defect prevention, detection, removal, and so on. So let's start. Let's cover it with point 1 or the topic 1, which is a test driven development, or we can say TDD, acceptance test driven development, ATDD, and behavior driven development, which is BDD. There are many tools available, there are many techniques available. We are going to cover as much as we can. I'll take the questions in the form of text. Please feel free to raise any question, just shoot it. Now, there are 3 components. Number 1, test driven development. Now the test driven development, which is TDD, is used to develop code guided by automated test cases. The process for test driven development is: add a test that captures the programmer's concept of the desired functioning of a small piece of code. Run the test, which should fail since the code doesn't exist. Write the code and run the test in a tight loop until the test passes. And refactor the code after the test is passed. Rerun the test to ensure that it continues to pass against the refactored code. Repeat this process for the next small piece of code, running the previous test as well as the added test. There are many tools available for the TDD purpose. This is just to make sure that once your test pass, you keep a change just to make sure that it is not failing and it is a genuine pass. Then there is acceptance test driven development, where it defines acceptance criteria and tests during the creation of a user story. You can go deep inside just to, if you want to cover this as a big area of topic, but I'm not covering into depth or into detail. Third one, which is a behavior driven development, which is a BDD. It allows a developer to focus on testing the code based on the expected behavior of the software. Now, generally, it uses a Gherkin style pure English language things. There are many frameworks tools available like Cucumber, JVM, Cucumber, Ruby. JVM and Ruby means Java and Ruby are the language. Cucumber as a tool. There is a proper pattern given, when, then. So again, this is a big area of the topic, but these are the kind of like information which is important. Let's say test pyramid. Now what is test pyramid? A software system may be tested at different levels. Typical test levels are from the base of the pyramid to the top, like unit, integration, system and acceptance. I think you guys are aware with the V model, means tradition versus V model. Now the test pyramid emphasizes having a large number of tests at the lower level, and as development moves to the upper levels, the number of tests decreases. So this is a pyramid structure. next, which is let's say testing quadrants, test levels, and testing types. So in test quadrant, test can be business or the user or the technology or developer facing. Some tests support the work done by the Agile team and confirm software behavior, while other tests can verify the product. Now tests can be fully manual, fully automated, a combination of manual automated or manual, so it depends by the supported tools. The four quadrant can be quadrant 1, which is a unit level, 2, which is a system level, 3, which is a system or the user acceptance level, and 4, which is a system or the operational acceptance level. Now again, these are like a deep subject. I'm just covering a top bit, but maybe at some points I would like to discuss more about it. Let's focus at the moment more on the role of a tester. Now there are many roles of a tester. It could be a teamwork, let's say sprint zero, integration, test planning, and agile testing practice. Now what are those things? Let's say teamwork. Now teamwork is a fundamental principle in agile development. Agile emphasizes the whole team approach consisting of developers, testers, and business representative working together. Could be a scrum master, could be a product owner, stakeholders. Now the following, or maybe there are a few actually, I would like to say organizational and behavior based practice in scrum teams. Could be cross-functional, where each team member brings a different set of skills to the team. Self-organizing. A team may consist of only of developers, but as noted, it could be ideally one or more tester. Could be co-located, where testers sit together with the developers and the product owner. Collaborative, empowered, committed, credible, open to feedback, and resilient. So these are the qualities of a teamwork. What is sprint zero? Now sprint zero is the first iteration of the project where many preparation activities take place. The tester collaborates with the team on the many iterations on many topics or many points. For example, identify the scope of the project, create an initial system architecture and high-level prototype, then plan, acquire, and install needed tools, specify the definition of done, create the task board, define when to continue or stop testing, means follow the 7 rules, fundamentals of the testing. What is integration? Now again, there is a separate topic for the role of the tester. Now in Agile project, the objective is to deliver customer value on a continuous basis. Now to enable this, the integration strategy should consider both design and testing. And to enable a continuous testing strategy for the deliverable functionality and characteristics, it is important to identify all dependencies between underlying functions and feature. That's a test planning. Again, the test planning is a fully integrated into the Agile testing team. Test planning should be started during the release planning session and be updated during each sprint. Sprint planning results in a set of tasks to put on the task board, where each task should have a length of 1 or 2 days of work. These are the techniques. Now there is again one other role of a tester, which is agile testing practice. Now many practices may be useful for testers in a scrum team. It could be pairing, it could be incremental test design, or it could be mind mapping. What is mind mapping? Mind mapping is just a useful tool when I'm testing. For example, tester can use mind mapping to identify which test sessions to perform, to show test strategies, and to describe test data. So this is all about agile testing methods. Now let's move on. What is assessing quality risk and estimating test effort? Now, As mentioned, there could be two different areas. One which is assessing quality of risk in agile project, and second is estimating testing efforts based on content and risk. I would like to say just a quick recap on this. When we talk about, let's say, in agile project, quality risk analysis take place at two different places. This is a part of assessing quality risk in agile project. Now, one which where we talked about release planning, where the business representative who knows the feature in the release provides a high level overview of the risk, and the whole team including testers may assist in the risk identification and assessment. And second was iteration planning, where the whole team identifies and assesses the quality risk. Now, the example can be incorrect calculation in report, like a functional risk related, or slow response to user input, or difficulty in understanding screens and fields, and so on. Sorry, there is a question there. Okay, how the quality risk analysis process in an agile project can carried out during iteration planning. Alright, and which are the steps? Cool, it's a very good question. So let me give the answer. So the questions and the answer straight away. So an example of how the quality risk analysis process in an agile project may be carried out during iteration planning is outlined and can be in like following steps. Number one, gather the agile team members together, including the tester. Then list all the backlog items for the current iteration. Then identify the quality risk associated with each item, considering all relevant quality characteristics. Assess each identified risk, which includes two activities like categorizing the risk and determining its level of risk based on impact. Then determine the extent of testing proportion to the level of risk, and select the appropriate test techniques to mitigate each risk. So these are the few steps we can think about. Now the next one, which is estimating testing efforts based on content and risk. Now again, as I said, this is a very big topic, but let me say, during release planning, the agile team estimates the efforts required to complete the release, and the release estimate addresses the testing efforts as well. A common estimation technique used in agile project is planning a POCR, a consequences-based technique. The product owner or the customer reads a user story to the estimators, and then each estimator has a test of card with a value similar to the Fibonacci sequence or any other progression of the choice, like sizes, t-shirt sizes and stuff like that, and the value represents the number of stories, points, effort, days and other unit in which the team estimates. The Fibonacci sequence is recommended because the number is in the sequence reflected that uncertainty grows proportionally with the size of the story, and so on. Let's talk about the techniques in Agile project. Now, in this bit, we can say the acceptance criteria, adequate coverage, and other information of testing. Now, I think we'll take a break here till here, and then we will cover these techniques in Agile projects in our next tutorial. And meanwhile, I can have a few of the questions, I can answer them. But thank you very much for watching this tutorial. This is Nemesoni here. This is a tutorial about Agile testing certification training for the ISTQB board. and I'm just reflecting the guide and the quality need to be in terms of getting certificate for the agile tester and some industry standard practices. Thank you very much.